Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ngayon po ay July 3, 2023, Monday, the first working day of the month. And 185 days na lang Pasko na. Mga subscribers, starting July 5 to 21, ako po ay nasa ibang time zone. Kaya po ako ay pansamantalang mawawala dahil tayo po ay nasa ibang lugar. So starting Wednesday po yan hanggang the 21st. Pero from time to time po, pagka meron po akong pagkakataon ay magpapalabas po ako ng video. So maaari lang pong mapaiksi ang ating video at maaring hindi po araw-araw ang ating mga ipapalabas na report tungkol sa Philippine stock market. Ang ating special feature ay tungkol po sa Philippine banks. Una po ang ating headlines mula sa Business World. Kapapasok lang nito mula sa PhilStar. Aboitiz AirAsia deny reported acquisition deal. Tingnan natin to. Mukhang very interesting to. So habang po naglo-load yung ating PhilStar report, ang headlines po natin, inflation likely eased to 5.5%, sabi ng isang survey. May growth slowest over in a year. BSPC's annual inflation in 5.3 to 6.1 range. Philippines remain a lower middle income economy. Dito po sa PhilStar, Aboitiz AirAsia deny reported acquisition deal. The Aboitiz Group and AirAsia Philippines issued separate statements on Monday dismissing a news report that the conglomerate had taken over the low-cost carrier. In a statement sent to the stock exchange, Aboitiz Equity Ventures denied a news article by the Philippine Star, which cited multiple sources saying the conglomerate had taken control of AACom Travel Philippines, a company that holds a 60% stake in AirAsia Philippines. So yan po ang pinaka top story po natin today na bukas pa natin makikita sa ibang news. Yan. So tingnan po natin ang ating special feature. Ito po ay tungkol sa Philippine banks. At this is courtesy of BDO Securities. Loan growth slowing but not stalling. Earnings uptrend to continue, aided by higher NIMs. NIMs is net interest margins. So loan growth is moderating due to high inflation and rising borrowing costs. Banks still posting solid earnings growth, however. Pagka mataas po yung interest rate, mas nagdadalawang isip po yung mga kliyente kung hihiram sila o hindi. So halimbawa, isang kumpanya na gustong magkaroon ng capital expenditures, ang source of income niya ay yung kanyang loans or hihiram po siya sa bangko. Pero dahil mataas po yung interest rate, pwede niyang i-postpone yung capital expenditure. In other words, maaring yung kanyang activity na napaplano for this year, ipagpapaliban po niya. In which case, there may be a slowdown in the bottom line. Yung ating net income ng mga bangko maaring lumiit. Yan po yung effect ng high interest rates. So, kailangan po bumaba yung mga interest rates na yan para po yung mga humihiram sa bangko ay mas dumami. Yan. RRR cuts to support system liquidity and NIMs over time. So, ito po yung counterbalance measure. Pero, sabi po ng maraming mga analysts na nagsasabi na the required reserve ratio cut may provide some sort of liquidity. Pero, maaring mataas pa rin yung rate. So, maaring magkaroon ng konting activity because of this. Improving economic activity seen driving loan growth and reiterate positive outlook for banks. So tignan po natin ang mga bangko today, and there are some charts here that I wanted to share with you. Ang una po ay ito, banks still posting strong earnings growth. So yung blue po is yung ROE. Yung earnings growth ng mga bangko ay nasa yellow line. Yung net interest margin naman ay ang yellow, samantalang yung cost of funds ay nandito po sa mas mababa. So in other words, the difference between the yellow line and the cost is yung kita ng bangko. Loan growth largely funded by deposits. So ito po yung deposits growth, yung blue line, samantalang yung orange line is the loan growth. And then, okay, ito po yung mga problema sa loans, yung mga hindi nakakabayad, mga classified loans, ano? So, yung blue line is the NPL ratio, samantalang yung yellow line is the NPL coverage. So, mukhang nako-cover naman po siya. Problem loans remain low with adequate coverage. And then, ito po, no? Yung RRR reduced to 9.5. But if you will compare it to the peer, like Indonesia, China, Vietnam, 9% lang po sa Indonesia, 7.6 sa China, India is 4.5. Mataas pa po yung 9.5. Pero buti nag-reduce from 12 to 9.5. Yan po ang basically yung banking sector. And if you will compare the three banks, BPI, Metrobank, and Security Bank, lahat po sila meron siyang buy rating. But the one with the largest upside is Metrobank and Security Bank. Nasa 38.2% si Metro, while Security Bank is 41.3%. Wala pong study kay BDO. BDO kasi nagpalabas nito eh. So they won't study their own bank. Yeah. With regards to the PE ratio naman, ang may magandang PE ratio is Metrobank and Security Bank. Mabababa po yung PE ratio nila. So, nasa vicinity of 5 and 6. Samantalang BPI, mataas yung PE ratio or price earnings ratio. Okay, in terms of dividend yield, maganda po yung kay Metrobank. Security Bank, almost the same as BPI. Pero, all in all, I would say that good buy po or magandang bilhin na stock si Metrobank because of the better ratios. Okay, so let's now take a look at the index and tingnan po natin ang PSE index umakyat po ng 40.14% or 40.14 points or 0.62% na sa 6508.21. So one of the stories here in corporate is that the index had been moving sideways. Ito, no? Cautious, unnerved investors sway shares sideways. So it moved sideways during the first half of the year due to underlying economic concerns locally, overseas, analysts said. So basically, the index is now moving sideways more on actually, it's sideways actually. No? So, kung gagawa po tayo ng Darvas box para makita po natin yung parallel channel niya. No? Yan. More or less, ganyan po ang galaw ng index. But, as interest rates go down, then tataas po ang mga presyo sa stock market. Ganun po, inverse relationship po siya. So most of the stocks went up today. Yung all-share index umakyat ng 0.42%. Samantalang ang financials, holding companies, mining, at properties ay umakyat din. Industrials and services lang ang bumaba. The most active stock is JFC, followed by BDO, SM, SMPH, and EMI. But we will take a look at the four banks, no? BDO, BPI, MBT, and SECB. So let's take a look at, in general, ang financials on how it's doing. Generally, it's moving up. And actually, this is influenced by BDO, Kasi paakyat po si BDO. And I suppose BPI also. But in general, ito po ay composed ni BDO, BPI, Metrobank, and SECB. So, paakyat po siya. In general, yung black line po, yan po, So, tingnan naman natin si BDO. BDO is yan, paakyat po. So, in general, makikita po natin na yung blue line at yung black line paakyat. But if we will be drawing a Darvas box on BDO, the short-term movement lamang po. Yan. So, yan po ang movement ni BDO. 143 ang resistance at 135 ang support. So, yan po ang BDO. And it's been moving that way since April 26, July 3, ganun din. Yan. So, nagmo-move lang siya between 143 and resistance and 136. Yan. Tapos naman, bigyan po natin next si BPI. Si BPI, bullish po si BPI pero para siyang roller coaster. So, tingnan niyo po yung kanyang support nandito, banda. But in the short term, bullish po siya. And resistance dyan po. 109 po yung resistance or 110 and then 100 po yung support. So, kumikita po yung mga bangko kasi yung earnings niya sa first quarter, 51.58 si BPI. 2022, kumikita rin. So, compare it with BDO. BDO, napakalayo ni BDO. Yan. So, nasa 2022, 33.55% ang increase niya. First quarter is 40.44. Yan po si BDO. And then, si BPI po. Balik tayo kay BPI. Yan po ang movement ni BPI. And just like what I've said earlier, target price po niya is 125. And medyo mataas po yung kanyang PE. And then si Metrobank naman, Metrobank is bearish. Yan. Nag-dip po siya. Pero anong target price niya? Magandang bumili kay Metrobank dahil maganda yung kanyang ratios, 38.2% yung kanyang upside. Yung PE ratio niya is between 5 and 6. Maganda na rin. Yan. So, EPS growth, ang ganda, 15.8 tsaka 18.9, 2023 forecast and 2024. So, yung kanyang support, ito may na-form na support dito nasa 52, samantalang ang pinaka-resistance, yung higher, nasa 59.52. Yan po, medyo bearish po siya on the medium and long term. Pero nag-oversold na po So, you expect the stock to move upwards. Ito po siya. Oversold po siya noong June. And then si SECB. Naku, bearish si SECB. And it has been 81, nasa 80 ang support. Ito siya. 80 po yung support. 80 to 81 po ang pinaka-support. So, bearish po ang dating sa akin. And oversold na po si SECB. Pero kumikita po yan. Hindi naman loss, kundi lower yung kanyang first quarter earnings na compared to the quarter of 2022. And then, earnings niya is 52% higher in 2022. So, yan po ang ating report sa stock market. Ikatatlo ng Hulyo. Ito po si Benji Chidora nagpapaalala, ang investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay sa hanggang sa muli. Stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.